Welcome to Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting over episode 10 of Cowboy Bebop. If you'd like to watch along, start watching now. Alright, so based on the preview from the end of last episode, it seemed to me that this one was going to be fairly Jet-centric, as opposed to the whole cast sort of doing their thing. It's sort of an episode that focuses on Jet and stuff related to him. If I recall correctly, the episode is called Ganymede Elegy. And, that really tells me two things. First of all, Ganymede, I believe, is one of the moons of Jupiter. And an elegy is a poem that's either written about or in honor of the dead. So it really seems to me that this is likely to be a pretty somber episode, in spite of Ed's antics here with this bounty the crew of the Bebop has seemed to have captured. And it looks like I am already proven to be pretty correct. We have this scene of a watch, clearly a flashback with the woman walking away. So it seems like that watch holds some significance to Jet. So, per usual, Faye's already sort of needling Jet and poking her nose where it doesn't belong. So it seems like Jet hasn't been to his home on Ganymede in quite a while. Alright, so this woman, Lisa, seems to be the crux of the issue. So it's clear that she's pretty heavily in debt, and Jet seems to care about her. At least according to his old friend from the police force. So Jet's walking through the streets of Ganymede, and looking at it, the whole place just seems sort of run down. So I guess, in a way, it's not surprising that Lisa is in hard financial straits, 'cause frankly, it looks like everyone is. So Faye continues to be cynical in all regards, as she is wont to do. So the plot thickens. The woman Jet is looking for is gone. Well, not really, so it seems. But there's another man in the bar who seems kind of cagey. So there's a definite familiarity between the two of them. So the two of them are sort of catching up on where they are in their lives. And it seems to me they're both fairly surprised with where each other ended up. It strikes me as a pretty human reaction. You know, life often doesn't take you where you think it will. Alright, so now the plot really thickens. Jet's old buddy calls up Spike with some advance notice on a bounty, and it's Jet's ex-wife's new boyfriend. So, it seems like that dude's real scummy. So I guess this sets up the obvious conflict of Jet being a bounty hunter. Will he pursue this bounty even though it might cause harm to a woman he cares about, or will he let him go? It seems to me that it's really a no-win scenario. Although it's notable that at this point, only Spike really knows about the bounty. You know, a one-word explanation seems pretty callous to me. So we're getting some more back and forth between Jet and his ex-wife. And it becomes clear that Jet has sort of, maybe not brooded on it, but he hasn't entirely moved on. Whereas Lisa has. And she just doesn't think about it anymore. And in a way, that, almost hurts more than anything else. Indifference can be worse than being hated. So now we're catching up with the boyfriend. He's trying to light a cigarette and he's having what appear to be flashbacks to, I guess, some crime that got him on the radar of law enforcement. Seems like he shot some other criminal. Whether rightfully or not, who's to say, but that's what happened, apparently. So the boyfriend is very quickly becoming paranoid. So the pair of them really do seem to be tangled up. Each of their problem is sort of the cause of the others in a way. So they're really waist deep in it. So the obvious solution to them is to flee, but they've sort of pricked up Spike's ears, and he doesn't know anything about them. He's not going to let them go. He really has no reason to do that. So Spike and Jet almost actually collide into each other. Alright. So this is where the coin drops. Spike shows Jet everything he knows about the bounty, and Jet finally understands what's going on. So it seems like this is more an honor thing to Jet, him having been law enforcement here. He claims to have no ill will towards his ex-wife, but I'm not sure if that's entirely true. It's hard to read him, especially him being a fictional character. I don't think he's lying, but at the same time, I don't think he's being entirely truthful either. At the very least, he's not doing it out of malice, I suppose. So, try as they might, they were unable to escape Jet. I would say that probably owes to the fact that he's using aircraft to pursue them, whereas they have a sort of boat. But I'd be willing to bet Jet's just a much more skilled pilot in general. So their boat crashes on a concrete embankment rather, and Jet goes to give chase on foot. So his ex-wife pulls a gun on him, and it seems to me that this is really an encapsulation of the entire episode's conflict. She tries to appeal to his humanity, but it doesn't seem like it's working. So I guess Jet gets his explanation after all as to why she left. And to me, I think it's profoundly sad that the situation had to escalate to something like this for that explanation to come out. But nevertheless, I think Jet has, I guess, an honorable rationale. If he arrests the fugitive now, his ex-wife will not be an accomplice. But if he doesn't, another bounty hunter will come anyways. Ultimately, he was doing them a kindness. Not many bounty hunters, I would think, tend to be as honorable as Jet is. So ultimately, Jet did the right thing and the honorable thing. He arrested the criminal, turned them in, and I guess he reassured the guilty parties that, he'd likely get off on a self-defense plea. And that last shot of him throwing the pocket watch into the river, I mean, it's fairly straightforward. It's a highly symbolic thing. He's let go of this part of his past, and now he's able to move on. It occurs to me that the ability, or lack thereof, to let go of the past is something of a running theme within Cowboy Bebop. And I think it's very poignant, because it's something we all face in our own lives, too. Perhaps not as exaggerated as this, but nonetheless. Alright, so this trailer makes it seem like the next episode is sort of like a horror movie type episode. It kind of reminds me of Alien. Oh well, that's a matter for next week's episode. So, if you've enjoyed this episode, please by all means tune in for the next one.